Well, hello. I know that it has been more than a month since my last video. In that video, I warned you that I was going to be taking some time off and then maybe making some changes. I appreciate your patience. The time off started with Lori and I taking a vacation to North Carolina. We sort of dodged hurricane there, which wrecked the fishing, but we still had a wonderful time. The highlight was actually on the way back. We stopped and had supper with Carmen Schenk and her life partner Xavier on the way home. It was really wonderful to make new friends, compare notes, and just have a chance to bless each other. I do have a few announcements. Our new Salt and Light books are in. I will be handling distribution over the next month or so. Because of the cost of postage, we're going to try to deliver as many of them manually as possible. We have heard from our missionaries in Central Asia. We know that God is watching over them. They arrived safely. Their ministry is coming together very nicely. There are a couple of things to be praying about. The imminent cessation of SNAP program, the food safety net system, is going to bring hardship to many of our brothers and sisters and neighbors. Lori has brought to my attention a program called Dollar Store Meals in a Bag. You can feed 4 people for $5 using healthy dollar store type meals. You can Google that and you'll be surprised. Maybe even more imminently, we should be praying for the people of Jamaica. As I speak, the hurricane is hitting their coast, and news commentators are saying that the destruction will be unprecedented and Jamaica will never be the same. I do not think that that is just hyperbole. I think that that will be true. So please keep Jamaica in your prayers, along with all of the other hot spots that we are praying about, whether it's for political upheaval or natural disaster, whatever the cause is. Please keep up your prayers. It is time for me to make a change in how I do these podcasts. I have to admit, I have found it very difficult to prepare upcoming lessons for the following Sunday by the middle of the week. That basically means I have to do all of my salt and light preparation by Tuesday. That has been more challenging than I expected. I thought that after a year or so of doing it, I would get better at it, but maybe old age and dimming vision is catching up with me. It's getting harder, not easier. So after some prayer and introspection, advice from peers and mentors, I think it is time for some tweaks. What I would really like to do is pursue more aggressively the stated goals of Accessible Fellowship, to provide a worship experience for people who have trouble getting to church. One of the changes that I like to make is to give myself the flexibility to introduce something that longtime Salt and Light students, we have some who've been with us for a dozen years, know that I would refer to in the past as Trivia of the Week. It's not really trivial, but that's just a good name for it. Let's call it instead the Aha of the Week. Not trivia, but aha. I was chasing down a delightful rabbit hole. I love rabbit holes. That's where I learn a lot. I stumbled across 1 Samuel 17 is the story of David and Goliath. And you know the story. David is assigned the task of taking a care package to his brothers on the front line of a stalemated battle. And he spent some time talking to his brothers and other soldiers, and he ended up talking to King Saul. After elaborate preparation, he took off the king's armor, went out to the brook, picked up some stones, and slew the giant. We know the story. David picked up 5 stones. Why did David choose 5 smooth stones out of the creek? Was he afraid that he would miss the first time? I don't think so. I imagine he probably knew that he was going to get one shot before he was skewered. Was he somehow losing his confidence or his faith? Let's look at some facts. Goliath was a Nephilim. He was a giant. They're talked about in the Old Testament. He was big. He might have been 8 or 9, maybe even 10 feet tall. He was a Rephimite. That means that he was from Rephaim, a nearby city. According to 2 Samuel 21, 15 through 22, and 1 Chronicles 20, 4 through 8, there were actually 5 Nephilim Rephimites in the Philistine army. At least one was Goliath's brother, maybe more. Regardless, they certainly all knew each other. So, why did David pick up 5 stones? David was not afraid that he was going to miss. He was not losing his faith. Quite to the contrary, he was prepared to fight 5 giants. Think about that. What a lesson for us. David was prepared to fight consecutively 5 giants. As a postscript, the Bible records that the other 4 Nephilim Rephaites were killed in battle by David's army over the course of some period of time. I'd like to do a quick recap of last Sunday. Our lesson was God's promise of a renewed relationship. The bottom line is that the renewed relationship with God transforms his children, giving us the strength to move from being bound by the law to joyfully living out the law as it is written in our hearts. After our Salt and Light session, Riverside Anabaptist Collective presentation was What Keeps You Awake at Night? And the bottom line, no need to fear. Jesus is closer than you think. In the upcoming week, the upcoming lesson, the title is Live in Love. And we're shifting from Jeremiah to the New Testament, the book of 2 John, the whole book. Now remember that John is the beloved disciple. Who better would know Jesus' priorities? As you prepare for next week's lesson, I would ask that you read the lesson through. I would ask that you read the daily Bible readings in addition to your normal devotions, your regular routine devotions. And I hope that you'll consider the spiritual practice. The spiritual practice assigned to us by Oshita Moore is to commit to a practice of discernment in love. Each day, reflect on one area of your life, relationships, work, media, or personal beliefs, and ask if it aligns with God's truth and love. Pray for wisdom to discern truth and courage to live in love. Remember that this is about balance, grounding your actions and interactions in Christ's teachings. After our Salt and Light lesson, probably at 10:15, we will move into a more structured worship based on the Riverside Anabaptist Collective material. I'm still working on that, and maybe somebody will volunteer to help. Please join me this week in praying that God's children will learn to live together in His love. Go in peace.